Yes, yes. This shall be a good fundraiser, and we shall call it this fundraiser. Huh? Curse you, sudden but inevitable betrayal. Screw it, I'm just gonna go play some video games. RetroPi is a fantastic project for getting started in Raspberry Pis and electronic projects like that, because you still kind of got to do everything that you have to do in a Raspberry Pi project. You have to download the image, flash it onto an SD card, plug it in, get it going, get that first time configuration, and if you're going about it the legal way, which I recommend, you're going to have to learn a little bit of Unix in the process. But when you're done, you're going to have a fully functional arcade game system that can play hundreds of video games for practically free. And, you know, who doesn't want that? Now, the common misconception about RetroPi projects is that all you need is a Raspberry Pi and you're good to go. And while it's true that the Raspberry Pi is an important part of the process, you're also going to need to have a USB power cable to power the whole thing. You're going to need to have a controller. You're going to need a keyboard to interface with it. Trust me, that's important. You'll need a case and a screwdriver to put the case together with. You're going to need to have an HDMI cable to interface with your TV. A lot of people's first-time RetroPi projects are large. They want to do a full-size cabinet or something fancy with it. And that's fine if you're already familiar with RetroPi, but my recommendation is to start simple. Start as cheap and simple as you can. And that's this project. The only thing that this isn't complete with is a screen. So I'm going to assume that you're going to plug this into an HDMI compatible TV and play your video games on that. And hopefully you've got that to be able to do it, because that's the only part in this project that I'm not going to price out for you. But what is the cheapest that you can get all of these things that you need right now? First, you're going to need to buy the Raspberry Pi. That comes separately. Second, on GearBest, there is a Raspberry Pi starter kit that seems to be specifically for RetroPi because it comes with the controller that you need, and it comes with a case and the screwdriver that you need, and the power cable that the USB cable that they have is super cool because it has the power button on it, which I think is a great feature, so you can turn it off without having to unplug it. And it even has the HDMI cable. The only thing that it doesn't have is a keyboard to interface with it. Now, if you got your own keyboard, that's fine, go ahead and use it. But I was looking for something smaller, something that I could use in conjunction with it being on the shelf with my video game system. So I wanted one of these mini wireless kits, and I went over a video where I have several of them that I compared, and this is the one that I came up with, but expect to spend $12 to $15 if you want a fancy one like this. So it's the Raspberry Pi, the starter kit, and the keyboard, and all of that comes out to for your unlimited fun video game system, and that's the cheapest that I've been able to find it. Of course, you could spice it up a little bit with this Retro Flag NESPi case, which I really enjoy. It looks like one of those Nintendo cases, but it really is. It's got your RetroPi in here. It's got the USB on here and the network right underneath there. But then it also has additional USB ports. And surprisingly enough, there are USB ports inside that aren't being used that you could plug your keyboard into. Plus, I really do like these 8-bit DO controllers because they have some extra buttons and the extra pads, but they still have the look and feel of a retro system. So I might upgrade a system with these as well, and this will drive up the cost. Of course, if you go this route, there are two things that I recommend. First of all, you don't need the starter kit for this. You'll have to source your own HDMI cable and you have to source your own power, but you don't need the fancy USB with the power click on it because this one comes with a power button that actually works, but it works by connecting to specific pins in specific ways on your Raspberry Pi. So test it out before you screw the lid on and realize that you've done it all wrong and that you need to take it all apart and fix it. Trust me on that one. Now, of course, there's still configuring it. And like I said, I endorse legal use of your RetroPi system. And I will go over how to set that up and some of the games that you'll be able to play in another video. But this will get you started on the hardware so that you can start playing with it right now if you wanted. And I also have other big ideas for this project, things that I want to do myself, like adding a screen to it and making it solar powered even, and we will get to that in a future video as well. But there you go, everything you need to get started on your own video game system right now. It's really super cheap. It's super easy to get started on that. Links to everything that I'm showing you here in the description. Now, yes, as I indicated at the beginning of the video, the low poly dyno Kickstarter has been delayed due to complications. And if you want more information about that, be sure to hit up the comment section, blog link, and I will tell you a little bit more about that. But hold tight, it will be happening just as soon as Kickstarter lets me let it happen. But as always, I want to thank you very much for watching. Huge thanks to my Patreon backers. You guys are the wind beneath my wings, and your support is still more necessary than ever. But thank you very much. And as always, I want to remind you, safety first. See you next time.